Hello and welcome again to this podcast where today we are hosting Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Mandhana. After qualifying as a CA in 1988, he's held leadership roles such as CFO at prominent organizations, Ellen Bangar Group, SPML Infra, JIS Group, India Power, HNG, etc. So we requested, sir, that all of his accomplishments that he has gained over the years, he could share in the form of certain responses to a curated question answer episode. So, welcome to the show, sir, and thanks for sparing your time.
Thank you so much, Anurag. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. So, sir, you've been across diverse sectors. Let's say in your 90s, you were in Magma FinCorp, which was a financial services play. Hindustan National Glass was manufacturing. Right now, you are in an NBFC. Earlier, you were an infra company. So, you've traversed fairly wide range of corporates. How has that really shaped your approach to corporate finance and strategic decision making?
Well, I would say that I have been fortunate enough to have traveled these many sectors, and uh, every sector has its own fascination. So if you deal with the services sector, when you deal with the manufacturing sector, each sector has its own dynamics. And besides, in manufacturing, I would also like to point out because many of the professionals, while working for the manufacturing sector, they almost choose to stick to the corporate office. I was fortunate enough to be working at the plant location for 2 years, and believe you me, it was a wonderful experience for me because working in a manufacturing environment out of a corporate office, and once you are absolutely at the profit center, the place where the profits get generated, it's a different learning and knowledge altogether. uh, all I would say is, I have seen many cases of manufacturing companies where, for slight uh, loss of control or loss of oversight, many successful businesses in the manufacturing side have ended, because you really need to have solid control on your manufacturing operations. So yes, it gives you versatility, it gives you a lot of new dimensions, so it really helps you.
I could agree to that because even premier companies such as HUL and all, when they hire CAs as management trainees, they ensure that they spend some time at the sales offices, at the plants, and then they move to the corporate so that the vision is very firmly rooted at ground level reality rather than just building castles in the air.
Fully agree with you. I'm happy that you even said depots, sales offices also, because even those are also very, very important components of the entire business ecosystem.
Sir, as far as any young professional is concerned, what should be their strategy, the factors that they should consider while choosing their career path so that A, they grow, and B, they are also satisfied? Because today a lot of people can grow, but they are not satisfied. Some people who are satisfied, they feel they've been left out on growth and they have FOMO. So, how does one balance growth and satisfaction? What are the factors that need to be considered?
See, first of all, I would say one has to be realistic in life. The correct assessment of one's own SWOT is very, very important. Uh, while my friend may have joined, say, one of the most premier investment bank, if I also, feel that, why I have not been able to get into that investment bank, because see, everybody has their own SWOTs. So, in my view, the first important thing is to know your own SWOT, and then you have to have a very, very clear perspective of life, whether you want to do your own practice or you want to go into a service, and within the service also, whether you want to go into a manufacturing sector or a services sector. So point is, if you do a very very structured thinking aligned to your ground realities, that's where in my view one will definitely prosper. But if there are any gaps between the wishes and the realities, that's where the dreams don't come true.
So, for example, if you could give an example of how someone leverages their unique strengths, you've seen some, let's say, some case where someone has identified his or her strength and captured that strength and made it big. If you could share a real time example without, let's say, not naming the person, that would be helpful.
uh, See, just giving you examples. Somebody is very very fascinated about income tax in their exam periods, in their study periods. So he chooses to develop his career alongside the income tax area. So you have to first understand that which are the subjects where you are very good at, because you have a trait in your studies period. You somehow the other you find that either you have a trait in, say, costing, or you have a trait in banking, or you have a trait in income tax. So you have to understand your strength well, and you have to play to your strength.
So, coming to your real life experiences, any challenging situation that you faced in your personal professional life, and how did you approach about resolving it?
See, I would say I'm not the only one who may have ever faced personal or professional challenges, because I feel that's a part and parcel of everyone, every person for that matter. Uh, all I would say is, life is a roller coaster. There will be many ups and downs. There will be periods, when you would feel that you don't have enough energy. But yes, you have to have belief in yourself. Uh, if you can't run, you have to walk. Or let me say, if you can't fly, then you have to run. If you can't run, then you have to walk. If you can't walk, then you have to crawl. So the challenges and difficulties will always be there. One has to get into a very very structured thinking. In my view, structured thinking gets you out of any conundrum, any problem. See, if you analyze your problem very well, and then if you start working around the possible combinations as to how to overcome those problems, if you have a very very clear structured thinking in your mind, that to get the answer to this problem which I'm presently facing, this is the best option, option A. This is the second best option, option B. This is the third best option, option C. So you have to have a very very clear structured thinking, and then you have to continue to work around those options. Many times you may find that you have not been able to, to be working on the option A. In that case, at least you have to start working on the option B, because you never know when, in the times to come, you may again find that the doors for option A have also opened up for you.
So, coming to stress management, like today, finance professionals are facing existential crisis in a way with AI coming. There are a lot of doomsayers who say that there will be challenges. There is intense competition in a country like India because demand supply mismatch is always there. How does one manage stress and maintain mental well being? Because I see that you have really maintained very high standards on that front, and that is why I thought I'll ask these questions to you in this conversation. So, with a focus on mental health and well being and managing stress, what have been your most successful strategies?
See, first, on the professional side, I would say that one has to continue to evolve, because the processes and the way we do things in our business or personal life, even those keep evolving. So you have to be a very very good learner. You have to continue to learn. Point number one. Point number two is, see, you have to look after yourself. At the end of the day, it is you, the person who solves all the problems. So first you have to take care of your body, your own requirements. So those things you have to really take care, because it's only then that you'll be able to perform efficiently. So in my limited understanding of my life so far, all I would say is handle yourself very very well. First and foremost, look after yourself, because it is you who generates the ideas, who performs, who brings out the successes. So unless you are in the top gear, unless you are in the best of the frame, things will not happen for you. So
Makes a lot of
look
sense.
after yourself very well, and continue to evolve on the emerging opportunities. Continue to learn, continue to expand the horizon of your knowledge.
Sir, since you've been such an accomplished professional, at times have you faced challenges with respect to balancing family time, professional time, giving time to children? What principles have you felt have contributed to raising resilient children? That would be one area that I would like to ask you.
Uh, See, the answer to this question would actually depend upon what stage of life we are passing through, Anurag. So, you would have varying degrees of combination of ratio between the professional time and the family time throughout the various phases of life. Maybe in the initial part of your career, you'll have to focus more on the professional side, a slightly less on the family side, because it is never static at every stage of life. When you are building up your career, when you are in the first 10 years of finding your own professional success, that is the time when you have to devote more time to your professional life. So finding a balance is actually uh, something which depends upon what part of which period of your life you are into. So when you start your professional career, you know you you gradually move into various phases. First is starting, then developing, then optimizing, then sustaining, so at different points of time. But yes, once you have reached a particular level in your professional success, maybe at that point of time, maybe you can think of taking slightly slow on the professional side and giving some more time to the family. But there cannot be a straight answer to this at for every professional, with them being at various stages of their professional and personal life.
Fantastic. So this makes a lot of sense. In terms of you've been very honest enough to admit that you've been through depression twice. So, what have been your principles that have led you to emerge out of depression? How would listeners who would be struggling with similar issues, what would you be your insights on coping mechanisms for them?
See, first of all, out of my experience of life, I would say that one should not feel shy or any kind of inferiority if one has ever passed through low periods of life. In Mahabharata, we have seen the great warrior, even Arjuna also had his low times. So it should not be taken as something which you are not able to admit, or you are feeling shy of, or if you feel that what if others come to know of it, what impression they are going to form about me. So see, there will be various situations where you will have your lows, but what can actually work for you is, if you have not stopped working, or if you're still working on the best ever option available to you, trust me, you will surely come out of it. Just for example, supposing if a person was at a job where he was earning, say, about 75 lakhs rupees per annum. Somehow or the other, for whatever reason, he loses the job. Whatever the reasons could be, maybe the reasons external to him. And if at that point of time, for the time being, if he finds that there are not jobs available in the market for 75 lakhs rupees, and even if he has to start, say, with a job of 50 lakhs rupees, I would recommend that one should go for it, because at the end of the day, what is the best option available to you at any given point of time is what actually makes sense for you. Because see, in phases like these, you have to be seen as moving. You may not be moving at the speed at which you were earlier moving, but trust me, I have seen and I have studied the lives of many people. They are at a they are at a they are at their career high, and suddenly something happens to them and they reach at 0.5x of their high. But if they have the belief and they continue going working, many a times the time comes in their career where they surpass their last career highs. And it happens. Trust me, it is bound to happen. If you have not lost the zeal, if you have continued to work, opportunity will once again come back to you. This is for sure. So in period like these, what is most important is not to lose the fighting spirit. You may have to work on the options which may be inferior to what you were actually doing at that point of time, but keep moving. See, if you are still in the playground, you never know when you could once again have the opportunity where life will expect you to start playing once again. So you have to be in the playground. You can't leave the playground.
So my final question, in terms of physical fitness, what is your daily regime? What are the steps that you take to remain physically fit at this age and shoulder such responsibilities?
See, what physical fitness is giving to me, I would really like to share. Because see, in our teachings, we have been taught pehla sukh nirogi kaya. So when people say जीवन के 7 sukh, so the first one to be recited is pehla sukh nirogi kaya. So if you are honest, if you have commitments, and if you have willpower, if you have resolutions around the biggest sukh of your life, only then you develop a tendency, a passion, a commitment, a sincerity to follow the other sukh of life. So I would just once again reword it. If you're negligent and if there are any deficiencies in the process, in your process, where the kind of effort that you should be taking for the pehla sukh, if you're seen lacking in that area, pehla sukh, in my view, you will never be able to optimize your efforts, your productivity, your results in the other sukh areas. Because it's a matter of actually deciding the priority, resolution, commitment. So what it teaches you is it it brings a sense of discipline in you. So once you are absolutely honest to the pehla sukh of your life, the same kind of philosophy starts reflecting on the other areas too. And believe you me, what actually is seen is in the other areas, in your business life, in your personal life, in your social life, you start performing better, because it inculcates a discipline in you. It creates an approach in you. So in my view, it is a refinement of approach. And for me, since you wanted to know what I do for my fitment, luckily I have been a health buff since my childhood. So I'm a marathoner. I run and I passionately run.
Okay.
I have completed 3 full marathons so far, and some of the full marathons I'm going to run in next couple of months.
Yeah. Marathon means full 40.
42.2, yes, 42.2.
My God, that is fantastic.
And it doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't happen in one day. For example, I'll just give you one example. I'm going to run a full marathon, Tata Mumbai Marathon in January 2026. And I've already started my training for this right from March 2025. I had a small break of 1.5 month in my running regime around Feb March, and once again I have started training myself for the TMM 2026, and it takes a lot of time. It doesn't happen in one day.
Yes. So, any final thoughts that you want to share with someone who's come all this way to watch this show?
Uh, See, my final thought will be love yourself. Look after yourself very, very well. Trust me, it will start reflecting in many profitable ways in your life. As a person, the kind of commitments that you want to live, the kind of qualities that you want to display, if you first invest in yourself, it will start reflecting in all other areas of your life.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your time for this show. I hope the audience will have a wonderful time watching this. Thanks again for your time,
Yeah,
sir.
so Anurag, it was pleasure for me too, and I wish all the listeners uh, all the very best in their lives.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.